Right, hear the big part right now. Hear the big part right now, and I want you to listen to this. You hear the man talk about ganja free, and they make a sad mistake, and still say them people don't know what they do. Listen to this. It remains a criminal offense. You that think no more criminal offense now coming at this. But them put one in there, them itch it right in there. Listen to this. It remains a criminal offense to be in possession of over 2 ounces of ganja. And offenders will be arrested. Go and tell the people them in Jamaica say ganja not free in Jamaica. Want to know that. And the Ministry of Justice just sent me something, so I'm going to read it. The Ministry of Justice, Dangerous Drugs Amendment Act 2015 facts. Muta. Alright. So you already saying that now. First of all, them say dangerous drugs. Them say dangerous and them say drugs pantapide, and I'm referring to ganja. So you know say something wrong right this already. Something definitely wrong right this already. Them don't change the language as it relates to ganja. Them don't change the language. And if you don't change the language, you know say them have a far way to go. But apart from that, we're going to read the Amendment Act 2015 facts. Since them send we have to read. We don't have to read it, but this is Mutabaruka. We want to present to you a wholesome kind of level of consciousness right now. So subscribe and tell your friend them. This is Mutabaruka. For the purpose of clarification, we're going to read it. And we start overview. So we start the program quick today. The program started quick, yeah, because nothing's supposed to go up on the program tonight, yeah. Okay. This fact sheet sets out the main changes that have been made to the Dangerous Drugs Act. 2. Recent amendments to the Dangerous Drugs Act made by the Dangerous Drugs Amendment Act 2015 will introduce several important changes to the way the Dangerous Drugs Act will operate in relationship to ganja. 3. When the Dangerous Drugs Amendment Act 2015 comes into effect, new provisions will be in place regarding the possession and smoking of ganja, use of ganja by persons of the Rastafari faith, and use of ganja for medical, therapeutic, and scientific purposes. Enough time on hear this already, you know, but we still have to repeat it because them know have it in a little fact sheet of what them saying. 4. The Dangerous Drugs Amendment Act 2015 came into operation on the 15th day of April, which is a month ago, right now, 2015. 5. Some aspects of the new law will not be operational until regulations which are being developed are put in place. Possession of ganja. Number 6. Possession of 2 ounces or less. Not 2 ounces or more, you know. I want you to listen carefully. Listen carefully. On the can't only never hear, and you keep hearing it over and over and over. We still have man out there. All Rasta youth out there and misinterpret with them ear on the radio. Alright, so there's no misinterpretation for Guardians to know after on the ears tonight. Possession of 2 ounces or less of ganja is no longer an offense for which one can be arrested, charged, and tried in court, and it will not result in a criminal record. If you have 2 ounces of ganja or less, that means everybody have to start walking with a little scale, including the police them. If you have 2 ounces of ganja or less, you will no longer be charged and arrested for it. However, this is the catch. However, the police may issue a ticket to a person in possession of 2 ounces or less of ganja, similar to a traffic ticket, and the person would have 30 days to pay the sum of $500 at any tax office. Listen carefully, you hear this already, and you hear this already 100 times before you hear it. For April, I hear this. You still have to hear it. However, the police may issue a ticket for a person in possession of 2 ounces or less of ganja, similar to a traffic ticket, and the person would have 30 days to pay the sum of $500 at any tax office. A person, listen to this, you know. Listen to this. You hear the man I think about ganja free a while ago? Alright, listen to this part right now. A person who is found in possession of 2 ounces or less and who is under the age of 18 years or who is 18 years or older and appears to the police to be dependent on ganja. I don't know how a police are going to look at you and think they're dependent. How a police are going to know if you're dependent on ganja or not by looking at you. I don't understand the part there, you know. How a police are going to look at you and know if you're dependent on ganja. Neil, as a little Christian youth about the place, yeah. Our police are going to know. Our police are going to know if you're dependent on ganja by looking for you. Because if you don't smoke ganja, you're going to look a certain way now. That it means that look they know means you're dependent on ganja. I don't understand it. Anyway, this is what them say. A person, and I suspect them I'm going to read it over and over, you know, so I guess we might read it before the program done and we have to read it tomorrow again because we are help them. We are help the Ministry of Justice. Alright, we are help the Ministry of Justice. Since I'm saying we are help them. A person who is found in possession of 2 ounces or less and who is under the age of 18 years or who is 18 years or older and appears to the police to be dependent on ganja will also be referred to the National Council on Drug Abuse for counseling in addition to having to pay the same $500 ticket. If he's 18, if he's 18 or older and the police stop you and look by you and say, you know, I'm dependent on ganja, we're going to make him go pay the $500. Alright, here's the big part right now. Here's the big part right now, and I want you to listen to this. You hear the man talk about ganja free, and they make a sad mistake, and since them people don't know what they do. Listen to this. It remains a criminal offense. You that think it's no more criminal offense now coming at this. But them put one in there, them itch it right in there. Listen to this.
Listening to the Black Radar YouTube channel.
It remains a criminal offense.
And keep listening.
To be in possession of over 2 ounces of ganja. And offenders will be arrested, charged, tried in court, and if found guilty, sentenced to be fined or imprisonment or both. The conviction would also be recorded on that person's criminal record. No. Ganja decriminalized? Oh, the hell them make the people them feel so them decriminalize something. Listen to what them say. It remains a criminal offense to be in possession of over 2 ounces of ganja, and offenders can be arrested, charged, tried in court, and, if found guilty, sentenced to a fine or to imprisonment or both. The conviction would also be recorded on that person's criminal record. Trap them and trap the people them. You know why? Because it's this thing here, I gonna make them get more money now. And now them are gonna collect money off of ganja now. Apart from them, are gonna try set up certain therapeutic and medicinal thing. The little man round there, so now we don't have no sense and them don't have no skill. Policeman just grab him and say, you have more than 2 ounces, 18 months you get for that. Me know Rasta man when they smoke ganja, 2 ounces a joke business. 2 ounces can't hold 9 chillum. 2 ounces can't hold, when a man see ganja nowadays, you know, him have ounces on top of ounces. You hear the man them say? The man them say, if them ever find you, if police ever catch you with more than 2 ounces of ganja, a prison you're gone. I bet you a whole lot of people never know that. You nearly didn't know that? With all the alabalu are going about ganja decriminalized, you didn't know it can't go to prison for ganja. Still, 2 ounces and over. And not only that, you know, them going to find you and imprison you and take your fingerprint, and you're going back to square one, where if you go at the embassy, can you get that embassy to get a visa? Them say, go down at the Street, go get your police record, or go to Central, go get your police record. And if you go down there, and them realize they have police record, them say, I'm sorry, sir, but you have to apply 2 years after from now. At 20 years, me have criminal record for ganja when me never smoke yet. How much time I say that in the past 20 years me on the radio? Me have a criminal record for ganja possession for 20 years. That they for me file. The man them say, if them fine you with 2 ounces or less, you will be charged $500 in the court. And not just the court, anyway, tax office there, sorry. You have to go to the tax office in a month and pay it. And if you don't pay it in a month, you are liable to go to court. And you may have to go pay $3,000 at that time. And if you still refuse to pay it, you're gone back at square one. You're gone back to square one. And this number 9, I say, it is a criminal offense to have more than 2 ounces of ganja in your possession. So the question is this. The question is this now. If the minister, I have heard the minister say many forums, including the Running African Forum, yeah, and other places where him stand up and talk, I hear him say, you can plant 5 plants of ganja on your premises. In a flower spot, in a rubber tire, you can plant 5 plants of ganja. I still asking the question, suppose the ganja them come to maturity, and you have 1 ganja tree can give you 2-3 pounds of ganja. I kid you not. I'm going a ganja field already with taller than me. Ganja them gone straight up in the air like Jack and the Beanstalk, I go climb it. May I say, if you have 5 stalk, can you remember I say black you sing a tune a stalk a sense to me in your growing in my backyard? Well, if you have 5 stalk of ganja in your yard and it come to maturity, what the hell you must do with it? What is the purpose of having 5 stalk of ganja in your yard where if you start pick the ganja and put it for dry, your neighbor go say, it's the boy over there, so me not like him, me go inform on him. Boom, police come in your yard and see you stack up your 5 tree them in your yard and put the ganja for dry. And when them go weigh it weigh 5-10 pounds. 18 months that you get, 18 months you get. You think say them easy. Alright, so we reach a number 9 where it say it's still a criminal offense for having possession 2 ounces or more ganja. You still can go to prison and get 18 months. And you still can be charged for it. So it's not fool, them a fool, Them a tell you which part them there. So if you misinterpret it, are you fool? Don't come talk about the government a fool you. The government is not fooling you. The government is just setting out them things to say the best way them can collect money off of this thing once and for all and collect more money off of it. So if you go around the corner so now and a blow smoke in a policeman face and say ganja free, him liable to lock you up. And when him see the split for you now, you have in a yard, him going to say more than 2 ounces that. And you're liable to go to prison for 18 months still. Alright. The rules against possession of ganja summarized at 7, 8, and 9 above do not apply to any of the following. Alright. Possession of ganja for religious purposes as a sacrament in adherence to the Rastafarian faith. Alright. Stick up in here so now. The other day, me read an article with my brethren, Ibo Cooper. Ibo Cooper, I say, him have a problem with that because the Chinese and the Indian, them can ball out. I don't have them phone. I don't really like find out. It's when since Rasta attack for China and Indian in Jamaica, them can't talk for themselves. I mean, me understand Ibo Rasta. Ibo sit down there and say, as a Jaria headman, he must say, the idea of the Rastafari getting preferential treatment about ganja. I don't know no Chinese and no Indian will get beaten and cut off ear and battering and prisoning for ganja in a Jamaica. Granted them say is the Indian them bring the ganja here. And granted them say you have different aspect of Indian culture and Chinese culture we use ganja. But I can't really understand why Rastaman is still on there. And I'm a bridging too. I'm a bridging, you know. But me have to say it how it go. Me can't understand why Rastaman in a Jamaica still on and I say, what kind of law is about for Rasta when you have Indian and Chinese there too? So, people must understand, they make the Indian and Chinese talk for themselves. Anybody will hear me I say this, you can tell Ibu Cooper, say, me say that. Make the Indian and the Chinese them talk for themselves. Them don't need Rastaman to talk for them. Because it's we, Ibu Cooper, get mal for this, for ganja, we get mal and butterfeet. We don't have no Chinaman or Indian going to prison for smoke ganja through religious belief. You understand? So, just make them talk for themselves, Rasta. We don't need to talk for Indian and Chinese in Jamaica. We don't need to do that. All right. Possession of ganja for medical or therapeutic purposes as recommended or prescribed by a registered medical doctor or other health practitioners or class of practitioners approved by the Ministry of Health. This is where the exemption they deal with that on, you know. People who are exempt from the rules against possession are exemptions. Okay. Possession of ganja for purposes, you see, all them things are not relate to we the people, you know. You know, see, we the people. They don't relate to we the people, you know, but here to go now. Possession of ganja for purposes of scientific research that is conducted by an accredited territory institution or is approved by a scientific research council. Possession of ganja pursuant to a license, authorization, or permit issued under the Dangerous Drug Act. So, all ganja man now line up for your license. All the man them who decides them want to plant ganja now line up for your license. Because if you don't have a license and them come at your place and see ganja tree as far as your eye can see, it's prison you gone. You can't go make no little side deal with no foreigner. I repeat, you cannot make any foreign deal with any foreigner for export ganja without the authorization of the government of Jamaica that you are supposed to have a license. And I don't even know if you can export it neither. You have to go figure it now how you as a little small man are going to make ganja into a ganja, I don't know, want the ganja cake. I mean, I can't make ganja cake, you know. I used to sell ganja cake at South Splash. I don't know if we can set up some ganja cake and export it. That would be a good idea. Ganja cake. And we make the best ganja cake, you know. I hope people don't know that, you know. Jamaican, the little man them, ganja pudding. Trust me. You have people when you have one of them pudding and them don't sit down and easy like Sunday morning, man. They don't move. You don't move at all. Okay. Alright, so we reach the possession of ganja. We're talking about people who's exempt from these things now. Possession of ganja for religious purposes as a sacrament in adherence to the Rastafarian faith. Possession of ganja for medical or therapeutic purpose as recommended or prescribed by a registered medical doctor or other health practitioners or class of practitioners approved by the Minister of Health. Possession of ganja for purposes of scientific research that is conducted by an accredited territory institution or is approved by the Scientific Research Council. Possession of ganja pursuant to a license, authorization, or permit issued under the Dangerous Drug Act. Okay, so this was sent to the radio station by the Ministry of Justice. So, you can't say you never hear again. It's not the first, not the second, not the third, not the fourth, not the fifth. And you can keep hearing it because I know to them give all the announcers one of these and you're going to hear it read over and over again so as not to confuse your brains. Ganja is illegal in Jamaica. Don't make nobody fool you. Because them going to say ignorance of the law don't justify you for break the law. That is what I'm going to tell you now. Ignorance of the law don't justify you for break the law. So you can't say you never know. If them catch you with 2 ounces and less of ganja in Jamaica, you're going to pay $500 at any tax office. You will not be fingerprinted. And you don't have to bribe no policeman if you have 2 ounces of ganja or less. And you have to go carry a little weight, a little... you have to go carry a little scale, you know. Trust me. Every man better buy a scale, you know. Believe you me. You have some little scale, you know. Yeah, with them use in a pharmacy, in a pharmacy. You have some little scale in a pharmacy where maybe you can use them scale, you know. Them scale, you go sell enough now. Enough scale, you go sell, you know. As you see a policeman say, policeman, see me scale, yeah. 2 ounces or less. $500. Eh? That's how you think. Policeman goes up, boom, and just go in a field pocket and put your own pocket and field on it. Say, watch out. A 3 ounce that. A 18 months, what a prison sentence that? 18 months, what a prison sentence that? And we hear the minister, I tell police to be lenient and all them things. The police, lenient in Jamaica, catch you with 3 ounces of ganja, 10 ounces of ganja, or a pound of ganja, lenient. You better leg of him one. Time I say wrong or right, left and or right hand. Watch a man. Believe you me, Bridget, you don't really want to go jail for 18 months, all right? None of them time when they talk about ganja. Make us see the first man we're going to go to prison now for ganja. After now, April, May, we're going to see the first man. You're going to see him big, you know, him picture go big in the newspaper, you know. First man to go to prison now for ganja after the law. All right, so we clarified that. And as we say, we might have to read it again before the program done. And we might have to read it tomorrow again. And again and again and again. That's me bridging them. Don't go on like them an idiot. You understand? Man, I said, me Musa, them free ganja now, man. I said, brethren, you why you hear them say that? Nobody not tell you nothing about ganja free. So we want to continue this thing where the Ministry of Justice saying, smoking of ganja in a public place or within 5 meters of a public place is prohibited in a manner similar to cigarettes. Okay. A person who smokes in public cannot be arrested or detained. However, listen to you now. A person who smokes in public cannot be arrested or detained. However, the police may issue a ticket to that person who will have 30 days to pay $500 at a tax office. For the purposes of these smoking rules, a public place include a workplace and any place for the use of or accessible to the public, such as sidewalks. I want the rasta them hear this, you know, because I have some rasta man I go like him an idiot, you know. I smoke, blow smoke in a man face and I talk about ganja free. Like one man come up to me car the other day and about ganja free and him have the split in him hand. Smoking of ganja. Alright. For the purpose of these smoking rules, a public place includes a workplace and any place for the use of or accessible to the public, such as sidewalks, bus stops, restaurants, offices, educational institutions, pharmacies, hospitals, areas used by children, supermarkets, and parks. So in other words, the only place you can go smoke is the 9 of your house. Smoking of ganja at privately occupied residents that are not used for commercial purposes is not an offense. Okay, that is what I just say. You must smoke, you can smoke in your house. But is governed by the rules and possession of ganja referred to above. In other words, you can smoke it in your house, but still, the over 2 ounce thing, under 2 ounce, it's still there. Even if you have smoked in your yard, and policeman come in there and catch you with it, he can arrest you. Furthermore, smoking of ganja will be legally permitted in places that are licensed for the smoking of ganja for medical Hey, them people are easy, Rasta. Them people are easy, you know. Them sit down and think out this thing, and Rasta, them not think it out, them think it out. Furthermore, smoking of ganja will be legally permitted in places that are licensed for the smoking of ganja for medical or therapeutic purposes. Adherents to the Rastafari faith will also be permitted to smoke ganja for sacramental purposes in location registered as places of Rastafarian worship. In other words, and no being you go cock. And no you go to man a bingy. Oh gosh man, regular green tampan body like worries. Alright. It is an offense to fail to pay a ticket. See the next part I can know, you know. Listen to this, you know. Uno can't, so never hear, you know. Uno can't, so never hear. It is an offense to fail to pay a ticket that has been issued for smoking ganja in public or for possession of 2 ounces or less of ganja. The offender will be required to attend the petty session court and may be ordered to do community service, or in the rare case where community service cannot be arranged, pay a fine of $2,000. A conviction for failing to pay a ticket will also be recorded on the offender's criminal record. If you don't pay the ticket, you're going right back to the original thing. You're going to become a criminal. Importation of ganja for terminal or serious chronic illnesses. A person who is suffering from cancer or any other terminal or serious chronic illness may import medicine or a therapeutic product derived from or containing ganja. In order to do so, a registered medical practitioner must certify that the person is suffering from the illness and must recommend the person use of the medicine or therapeutic product. The importation of the medicine or therapeutic product must comply with regulations which are to be made. I don't know why they would have want to import that when Jamaican upper university are going to make it. In furtherance of scientific research, an accredited territory, what do you pronounce that word again? Come, what do you pronounce it? Tertiary. Tertiary. Oh, you see it? Hey, all my wives, you know, they are listening, you know, I beg, she begs, you know, I be calling it wrong. About 50 times I call her, she must say that, tear up all of my clothes, but yeah, no, she be charged, you know. Boy, when I say, God give me grace to persevere. When you reach another yard there, trust me. All right. When we reach out, approved by the SRC, may apply for authorization to import ganja. Why them would have want to import? You see, at that part, them can't take no, you know. You're going to get license for import ganja. We should have concentrate on the ganja with there, so why we going to talk about import ganja so now? You're give man license for import ganja. I mean, they say that years ago, you know, I say, so Jamaica start import ganja, you know. All right, the authorization to import ganja, including any part of the plant from any jurisdiction where the export of it to Jamaica is lawful. The importation of ganja for research purposes must comply with regulations which are to be made. An authorization to import ganja for research purposes also protects any third party who is engaged by the scientific institution or body for these purposes. Cultivation of ganja by householders. Each householder is allowed to legally grow no more than 5 ganja plants on his premises. If there is more than one household on any premises, each household may grow 5 ganja plants. An accredited institution or other body approved by the SRC may apply for the authorization to cultivate ganja in furtherance of scientific research or lands approved for that cultivation. An authorization to cultivate ganja for research purposes also protects any third party who is engaged by the scientific institution or body for this purpose. Ganja which is cultivated, processed, used, and otherwise handled in accordance with the type of authorization is not subject to the rules against ganja under the Dangerous Drug Act. Cultivation for Rastafari sacramental purposes. Person 18 years or older who are adherents to the Rastafari faith or Rastafari organization may apply for authorization to cultivate ganja for the religious purposes as a sacrament in adherence to the Rastafari faith. Ganja that is cultivated under such authorization may not be smoked in public places other than at a location registered as places of Rastafari worship, or sold or otherwise dealt with commercially or exported from Jamaica, but is otherwise not subject to the rules against ganja under the Dangerous Drug Act. And then let them say events to celebrate, observe the Rastafari faith. Persons who are adherents to the Rastafari faith or Rastafari organization may apply for an event promotion or sponsored by them to be declared an exempt event. In order to apply, the event must be primarily for the purpose of the celebration or observation of the Rastafari faith. So I don't know, Tony Rebel going to work that out, you know. Tony Rebel going to work out something else, you know, because it is not a celebration for Rastafari, but then again, it's a celebration for Rastafari because the music in itself and most of the performers them give credence to the Rastafari faith. So all of that, them have to go work out again.
Well, wouldn't it be a celebration just in the fact that it's able to happen under the Rastafari guidelines as a liberation?
Yeah, well, that them I say, but you see, you have certain, like reggae concert now.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the concert them, where, like, as me just mentioned, Rebel Salute, is a Rasta man keep it, but it's not a Rasta celebration. But then, you could have argued it's a Rasta celebration because it's a celebrate the music that is portrayed by the Rastafari community. So I don't know how them go logistically work out that. I guess them work it out still. Where an event is declared exempt, person who attend the event will not be liable to be arrested, detained or prosecuted for smoking ganja or possession of ganja at the event, or transporting ganja to the event, as long as they have complied with the amounts and conditions specified in the order declaring it an exempt event. But wait now, before I go to the break now, I want to ask one question about this thing, you know. Suppose you go into a Rasta event to supply the event with the ganja that the people them going to use there, and you get stopped on the road with the ganja, and if you have your license, say this is that. They must say, I can't me, they must say, so now, you're still liable because you have more than the amount where you travel with. You have more than the amount where them allow you to travel with, even though you argue say, but the cocos bag of ganja you should supply Rebel Salute.
The informative information presented in this video is motivational and is positively aimed at inspiring, educating and entertaining the viewers with the cutting edge of critical reasoning. If you enjoy the contents on the Black Radar YouTube channel, please consider subscribing to show your support.